In the beginning, there was darkness, but within the darkness, a story began to unfold, a story that shaped the very fabric of our existence. Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey through time and enlightenment. Today, we delve into the ancient and sacred pages of the book of Genesis. We witness the creation of a magnificent universe, the birth of humanity, and the struggles that ensued. It's a tale of love, betrayal, redemption, and the eternal quest for understanding. Through stunning visuals and insightful narration, I aim to present to you a condensed yet powerful summary of this foundational book filled with timeless lessons and profound wisdom. So sit back, relax, and embark on a journey to the very beginning of time. Welcome to my unique interpretation of the book of Genesis. This book records the creation of all things, the fall of man, the universal flood, and the Tower of Babel. It also overviews the lives of four all-important Old Testament individuals, namely Abraham, his son Isaac, one of Isaac's two sons, Jacob, and one of Jacob's 12 sons, Joseph. Amazing indeed, the when, who, how, and what of all things explained in 10 short words. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning is the when, God is the who, created is the how, and the heavens and the earth is the what. Facts regarding the author of this book. Who? Moses. He was the younger brother of Aaron and Miriam, who led his people Israel out of Egyptian bondage and gave them the law of God at Mount Sinai. What are the books of Genesis? The books of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. When and where? 1405 BC, from the eastern bank of the river Jordan in Moab. Why? Genesis, to record the origin of the world and the nation Israel. Exodus, the supernatural deliverance of Israel from Egyptian bondage. Leviticus, the purpose and functions of the tabernacle. Numbers, the failure of Israel to enter Canaan. Deuteronomy, the review of the law for that generation about to enter Canaan. Key events of the book of Genesis. The creation of man. The institution of marriage. The fall of man. The birth of Cain and Abel. The removal of Enoch. The universal flood. The Tower of Babel. The call of Abraham. The giving of the Abrahamic covenant. The institution of circumcision. The offering up of Isaac. The marriage of Isaac and Rebekah. The birth of Jacob and Esau. The marriage of Jacob and Leah and Rachel. The elevation of Joseph in Egypt. The move of Jacob and his family from Canaan to Egypt. Key individuals of the book of Genesis. Adam, first human from whose side woman was taken. Eve, first woman and wife of Adam. Cain, first son of Adam and Eve, and first human to be born. Abel, godly second son of Adam, who was murdered by his brother Cain. Methuselah, world's oldest human, who died at the age of 969 years. Enoch, father of Methuselah, whom God removed from this earth without dying. Noah, the man God chose to build an ark and save a remnant of humanity, namely his family, from a worldwide flood. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, three sons of Noah, from whom all human beings have sprung. Canaan, wicked grandson through Ham, who was guilty of an undisclosed sin against his grandfather, resulting in a curse. Abraham, father of the nation Israel, and the spiritual father of all believers. Sarah, wife of Abraham and mother of Isaac. Lot, materialistic nephew of Abraham. Hagar, Egyptian wife of Abraham and mother of Ishmael. Ishmael, son of Hagar and Abraham, and probably father of the Arab race. Isaac, the promised heir of Abraham and his barren wife, Sarah. Rebekah, a relative of Abraham living in Mesopotamia, who would become the wife of Isaac. Eliezer, thought to be Abraham's faithful servant, who traveled to Mesopotamia and brought back Rebekah. Laban, Rachel's father and later Isaac's uncle. Jacob, second-born twin of Isaac and Rebekah. Esau, firstborn twin son of Isaac and Rebekah, who would later sell his birthright to Jacob and eventually forfeit his blessing. Leah, Jacob's first wife, who gave birth to 6 of his 12 sons and only recorded daughter. Dinah, Jacob's only recorded daughter. Rachel, Jacob's second and most beloved wife. Joseph, Rachel's firstborn son. Potiphar's wife, wicked woman who falsely accused Joseph of rape, resulting in his imprisonment. Pharaoh, Egyptian king who placed Joseph over all the land after he had interpreted the ruler's 2 dreams. Key places of the book of Genesis: Garden of Eden, original home of Adam and Eve, probably located between the Tigris and Euphrates River. Land of Nod, place where the rebel Cain fled after killing his brother Abel. Mount Ararat, mountain in Turkey where the Ark of Noah settled down. Land of Shinar, place where the Tower of Babel was built, near where the city of Babylon would later be built. Ur of the Chaldees, Abraham's original home, located near the Euphrates River. Bethel, place where Abraham built his first altar upon reaching the land of Canaan. Egypt, Abraham backslid and went here during a famine in Canaan. Sodom, wicked city located on the banks of the Dead Sea, which was destroyed by God. Salem, thought to be the first mention of Jerusalem, where Abraham met Melchizedek. Mount Moriah, elevated area near Jerusalem, where Abraham offered up his son Isaac. Cave of Machpelah, located south of Jerusalem, where Abraham buried his wife Sarah. Jabbok, a tributary stream flowing into the Jordan River, where Jacob wrestled with God. Bethlehem, where Jacob buried his beloved wife Rachel. land of Goshen, area in Egypt where Jacob and his extended family settled. Genesis spans a total time period of at least 2200 years. In light of this, note God's priority here. He employed 20% of the book from chapter 1 through chapter 11 to describe the first 1800 years. This covers creation, the fall, the flood, and Babel. He employed 80% of the book from chapter 12 through chapter 50 to describe the final 400 years. Here we read of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. This means approximately 80% of the total time period is covered in only 11 chapters, while 20% of the time is described in 39 chapters. The priority point is simple. In the mind of God, Abraham is more important than the universe. It is the only book which describes God as resting. It gives the first prophecy of the coming Messiah, of his suffering and eventual victory. It provides his first two names, seed of the woman and Shiloh. It pinpoints the tribe from whence he would come, Judah, and is the first book to mention the city where he would be born, Bethlehem. It gives us the first human to be created, Adam, and the first human to be born, Cain. It records the first man to die, Abel, and the first man not to die, Enoch. The glory of God in creation and the grace of God in salvation in Noah are both clearly seen. We see the world's earliest civilization, Canaanite, and the world's oldest citizen, Methuselah. The first three of four divine institutions as found in Genesis, marriage, human government, the nation Israel, and the fourth is the church found in the New Testament. It provides the first illustration of human religion, the fig leaves, and the first example of divine redemption, the coats of skin. Here a city is destroyed on the plains, Sodom, and a boy is spared on a mountain, Isaac. Here a son, Jacob, deceives his father, Isaac, and is later himself deceived by his sons, brothers of Joseph. Here we read of the first barren mother, Sarah, and the first dying mother, Rachel. Jerusalem, a type of the heavenly, and Egypt, a type of the worldly, are first mentioned in this stage. Here we first learn of a king called Melchizedek and a cave named Machpelah. Here the first of three great biblical covenants is introduced. These covenants are the Abrahamic covenant that has to do with the land, Canaan, and the people, Israel. The Davidic covenant. This has to do with a king to rule in their land over their people. And the new covenant. This has to do with changed hearts so that the people in the land will allow the king to rule over them. In its pages, sinners are drowned, and a saint, Noah, is drunken. A ship settles on a mountain, and a tower rises on a plain. This tower is but the beginning of three satanic attempts to consolidate religion around the project. Two more will follow. One was built near Babylon, and the final one will be placed in the Holy of Holies. History's first rebellion, Babel, and revival, Bethel, occurred in this book. Here Abraham climbs a mountain where God's lamb would someday die. On this occasion, Isaac asks his father a question that would be answered by John the Baptist some 20 centuries later. The question asked by Isaac, "Where is the lamb?" The answer given by John, "Behold, the Lamb of God, who taketh away the sin of the world. Some comparison with other Bible books. Comparison between Genesis and Revelation. Genesis records humanity's first rebellion against God. Revelation records the final rebellion. Genesis records the entrance of sin. Revelation records its exit. Genesis records the imposition of the curse. Revelation records the lifting of the curse. Genesis records the beginning of death. Revelation records the end of death. Genesis records the creation of the present heavens and earth. Revelation records the creation of the new heavens and earth. Comparison with the book of Genesis and Romans. In Genesis, Abraham is the patriarch of Israel. In Romans, he is the patriarch of all who believe. Comparison between the book of Genesis and the Gospel of John. All begin at the beginning, but their beginnings are different. Genesis begins with creation. John begins before creation with the pre-existent Word. Titles for and types of Jesus. The seed of the woman. Adam and Eve's lamb. Abel's lamb. The angel of the Lord. Abraham and Isaac's ram.